Trump indictment turns 2024 election upside down, but not the way Democrats hope. Biden's Democrats may have overplayed their hand. Joe Biden is desperate to run against Donald Trump in 2024. His campaign team imagines that the current president is likely to beat the former president, as he did in 2020. The corollary is that they're not at all convinced he could win over anybody else. Hence, the indictment of Donald Trump on charges of mishandling classified information, which inevitably fuels Trump's grievance agenda, raises money for his campaign, and appears to have further solidified his standing as frontrunner in the crowded GOP primary field. The charges are meant to make his nomination inevitable but weaken his appeal in the general election. Biden's apparatchiks may have overplayed their hand. According to a CBS News poll taken between June 7 and June 10, half the country thinks Trump's indictment was politically motivated. The responses are partisan, with 69% of Republicans judging the charges political and only 8% of Democrats. But a plurality of independents, the fastest growing and now largest political group in the country, side with GOP respondents in the matter. Asked if they would be voting in a primary, 37% of those polled said they would participate in a Democrat primary, while 39% indicated they would vote in a GOP contest. Remember, there are an estimated 10 million more registered Democrats than Republicans in the U.S. Moreover, the CBS survey reveals POTUS approval rating dropping to one of its lowest points to date, with only 41% of respondents giving the president a thumbs up and a whopping 59% turning thumbs down. More bad news. More than two-thirds of those polled say Joe Biden should not be running for a second term, with a solid majority blaming his performance in the Oval Office for their decision. Any normal incumbent president would find this feedback horrifying. A full 70% say things in the country today are going badly, including 56% of self-described liberals and a majority of black voters. If all those folks aren't happy, who is? Almost two-thirds rate the economy as bad, and 64% disapprove of Biden's handling of it, despite the low unemployment rate. But Biden is not any normal incumbent. He won the election in 2020 because COVID wrecked a booming economy and because his handlers cleverly concealed from the public the extent of Biden's age-related incapacity. He also won because voters were tired of the endless dramas of the Trump presidency and longed for what Biden promised: a dialing down of the harsh political rhetoric and greater harmony. Biden has not delivered on that promise. His 2024 campaign strategy depends on furthering our divides. Everything wrong with the nation, according to Biden, is the fault of his predecessor and MAGA Republicans. At every opportunity, Biden blasts the MAGA GOP, hoping that voters will tie Republican candidates, and especially Trump, to the disgraceful events of January 6. Boy, have Democrats mined January 6. But perhaps the most devastating reveal of the CBS News poll for Biden's re-election prospects is that Republicans turn out to be quite moderate, after all. Asked to list their top 3 criteria for the 2024 Republican nominee, voters likely to participate in GOP primaries prioritized: have a plan for lowering inflation, 90%. Have a plan to lower taxes, 78%. Be a role model for children, 65%. In addition, a sizable majority of Republicans, 69%, wants their candidate to work with Democrats and do not want Trump to harp on the 2020 election, 68%. Instead, almost all want to hear what he plans to do about solving the country's problems.